And it's day 3 of Mirror Now's campaign, Old Car, Not Bekar. Delhi's Transport Department is impounding overaged vehicles and is sending them to the scrapyards without any prior notice to the vehicle owners. We have been amplifying your voice on the channel on the issue on how the officials, in the name of following top court order, are trampling upon people's rights. Our phone lines have been flooded with people expressing their grievances. They have questioned the move, saying it was a policy to exploit the Aadmi and even allege a scam. While Delhiites are suffering, the blame game has also begun. Both the Transport Department and the Centre for the Air Quality Management have refused to respond to our questions, but unofficially, through sources, the Transport Department say that they were simply following the CAQM's directives. Well, that is the Mirror Now campaign. Our call-in lines are open. The numbers are flashing on your screen. Old car, not bekar. Do call us in and share your views, experiences and grievances. What do you feel about the cars being picked up without your knowledge, consent, without a notice per se? Clearly, as far as the calls that we have been receiving on these call-in lines, the people allege harassment. They feel that the Aadmi is being exploited. They are also maintaining that this is a high-handed approach by the government to try and implement the scrappage policy laws. And to get us, I beg your pardon, And right now we are getting a caller right now calling us in from Rohtak. Captain Jagpal is calling us. Captain Jagpal, good morning. Thank you for taking out time and calling us this morning here at Mirror Now. Please go ahead and share your views.
Good morning. Firstly, hats off and thanks to the Mirror Now for taking the issue. You see, the country has opted for rule of law. Not jungle law, might is right. Hello.
Yes, Mr. Captain Jagpal, please
Hello.
go ahead. We can hear you.
The minimum requirement is the doctrine of the ultim partem says that is show cause notice. Please give a notice to the man whose rights are likely to be affected adversely. Grant an opportunity to be heard, and thereafter the representation that we make, apply your mind and pass a reasoned order, speaking order, say why they want to take so and so action. What they are doing, as Shreya was saying, it's not gundagardi, it is outright trampling the constitutional. Constitutional right 21 says, right to live with dignity and honor and in high separate. How can you be in high separate if your car can be towed away? And secondly, old car is not bekar. It is a stepping stone and money available to buy a new car. Otherwise, you will never come back to the category of car owner. You will go down to scooters. And it is high time the MPs from the Delhi, they speak to the transport secretary and stop this. Otherwise, individuals should go to the court. You don't require an advocate. You can appear for yourself and tell that this is highly objectionable and it violates my fundamental rights. Thank you.
Thank you, Captain Jagpal, for making those pertinent points over there. But I'm also joined by my colleagues right now from the national capital, getting us the voices from the ground. I'm joined by Ishika from India Gate, and I'm also joined by Shreya, who is joining us from Lajpat Nagar. Good morning to both of you. Let me first go across to you, Ishika. Take us through this, what the people on ground feel about this entire campaign of ours. Have they ever experienced something similar? And whether at all they agree with the fact that old car is essentially not bekar.
Well,
Well, yes, Samya, we have been doing this campaign on Mirror Now where we have been, raising the citizens' voices as to is it the way, of scrapping the older vehicles by not even giving the prior notice to the citizens here. Now, I have few people with me at the India Gate. I'll go across to them. सर यहाँ पर दिल्ली में एक ड्राइव चल रही है जिसमें कि जो ट्रांसपोर्ट डिपार्टमेंट के ऑफिशियल्स हैं वो आते हैं और वो जो पुरानी गाड़ी है वो आपसे ये तक नहीं पूछेंगे कि आप घर पे हैं या नहीं हैं, नंबर देखा और वो उठा लेते हैं बिना किसी प्रायर नोटिस के। क्या लगता है आपको कि क्या ये जो अभी हो रहा है ये सही है?
ये सही नहीं है। उनको पहले नोटिस देना चाहिए, उनको बताना चाहिए कि भाई हम गाड़ी उठा रहे हैं, तब उनको भी पता होना चाहिए कि अपनी गाड़ी जाने वाली है या नहीं जाने वाली है, तो उससे कि वो सिटीजन को फायदा होगा उससे।
जी, हम आपसे भी ये पूछना चाहेंगे सिंस यू आर नॉट फ्रॉम दिल्ली एसेंशली बट while we are doing this campaign here we believe that old car is not बेकार। सो इसमें हमने ये भी देखा है लोगों का, जो दिल्ली में जितने भी सिटीजन्स हैं उनकी लगातार ये कंप्लेंट्स आ रही हैं कि बिना नोटिस के उनकी गाड़ी उठा ली जाती है। ट्रांसपोर्ट ऑफिशियल्स आते हैं, उन्हें देखने तक नहीं देते कि उनकी गाड़ी में कोई सामान है या नहीं, बस उनकी गाड़ी उठा ली जाती है। डू यू फील दैट दिस इज अ काइंड ऑफ हरासमेंट ऑफ द सिटीजन्स हियर?
Yes, this type of harassment is very wrong to the peoples and I can totally agree to that statement कि हमें बिना प्रायर नोटिस के किसी की भी प्राइवेट प्रॉपर्टी को जो उन्होंने इतनी मेहनत से, क्या पता वो वेल मेंटेन हो, तो उन्हें पहले प्रायर नोटिस पहुंचाना चाहिए उनके घर पे ताकि वो कोई एक्शन ले सके, कुछ भी कर सके कि क्या पता उन्होंने इतनी मेहनत से इतना मतलब इमोशंस जुड़े हुए होते हैं और उनके फाइनेंशियली प्रॉब्लम्स भी
जैसे आपने कहा यहाँ पर कि क्या पता गाड़ी वेल मेंटेन्ड हो, लेकिन हमने देखा है कि किस तरीके से इसे बांट दिया गया है। 10 साल की गाड़ी होगी डीजल वाली तो उठा ली जाएगी, 15 साल से ज़्यादा होगी पेट्रोल वाली तो उठा ली जाएगी। तो क्या लगता है कि अगर कोई गाड़ी वेल मेंटेन्ड हो तो उसके लिए भी गवर्नमेंट को कोई पॉलिसी लानी चाहिए, बेटर इम्प्लीमेंटेशन करना चाहिए ताकि लोगों के ऊपर फाइनेंशियल बर्डन ना पड़े?
हाँ जी, ज़रूर ऐसा करना चाहिए, जिससे क्या होगा, मतलब अगर वो एक बार भी अपनी गाड़ी बेक करते हैं तो अगर कोई ऐसी पॉलिसी आती है तो एक तो उन्हें फाइनेंशियली बर्डन नहीं होगा और दूसरी बात ये पॉलिसी जो होगी वो मिडिल क्लास फैमिली के लिए बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छी होगी, क्योंकि जो अपर कास्ट के होते हैं जिनके पास फाइनेंशियली प्रॉब्लम्स ही नहीं होती, वो एकदम वेल मेंटेन होते फाइनेंशियली को लेकर, तो उनके लिए तो आम बात होगी कोई भी पॉलिसी को सामना करना। लेकिन जो मिडिल क्लास और जो मिडिल क्लास से लोअर कास्ट वाले होते हैं, अगर वो अपने लिए इमोशन से जुड़े कोई भी कार अपन बेक करते हैं तो उनके लिए बहुत गलत होगा ये।
So, Sami, the voices that we are getting here from the ground, the people are saying, by this drive, definitely it's the middle class people, it's the people of Delhi who are being, in fact, harassed by the government officials. Because believe it or not, Samia, these are the middle class people, and if their, vehicle is stored away by the government, it certainly puts a financial burden as well. Apart from, just taking away their right, that not even giving a prior notice to them without towing away their vehicle, before towing away their vehicle. Over to you. Well, absolutely, Ishika. Thank you for getting us those voices. Let me also go across to my colleague Shreya, who's joining me from Lajpat Nagar. Well, Shreya, good morning. Take us through the voices on ground. What do people feel? Have they ever encountered something similar? And do they feel that there should be a prior notice or some sense of information given to them before any authority tries to impound their car, their property?
A very good morning to you. Right now I am standing in front of Lajpat Nagar metro station. I will go across to people and ask them, as the Delhi government continues to impound and tow people's vehicle without giving them a prior notice. Ma'am, I'll come to you first. I want to ask you, do you think that this is the proper way to implement a law?
No, I don't feel that this is the proper way to implement a law. Under Article 17, we have the right to choose our own property, and without any notice period, it is a complete harassment. And I feel that the government is harassing people, and it is if the government is doing this to me, I'm not comfortable with it. And what if I'm attached to my vehicle? What if my father has given me? And what if I'm attached to my own belongings? So government cannot just tow my vehicle without any notice period or without any valid reasons. They can, if they're checking the vehicle, if it is unsafe for me, they can recommend that I should not use the vehicle. So that will not cause any harm to an economy at that moment. But whatever they are doing is a complete harassment, and I'm against it completely.
Ma'am, we understand that Delhi has a problem of pollution and the law which was put in place by Supreme Court in 2018 is to curb the pollution. But do you think how the government is implementing a law is crossing line or somewhere?
Yes, it is. Definitely, it is crossing the line because you are taking one of my belongings, which I've invested my money on that belonging, and you are taking it away without any notice period. That too. So it is not good.
Right, thank you so much. I will also come to you, sir. I have the same question for you. Like you have seen several videos as you were sharing with me on social media platforms where people are being harassed. Do you think that this is the proper way to implement a law?
Ma'am, this is absolutely not the way to implement the law. The government should give ample amount of time to the people also so that they can prepare themselves. Or people might feel offended in this case. किसी के घर से अगर आप गाड़ी उठा के ले जा रहे हैं तो they could feel shameful also because neighbor क्या सोचेंगे कि चोरी का गाड़ी तो नहीं है या कोई भी रीज़न हो सकता है. The better way is अगर आप उसका पिक्चर क्लिक कर लीजिए और आप उनको कॉल करके बुलाइए and then give them a warning या जो भी है. So they should. This is not the right way to do it.
And you know, in many cases, we have seen that people do have sentimental values attached to their vehicles. And also when they're parked inside the private property, do you think that it is right for the government to come inside the private property and take their car without giving them a notice, especially when some sentimental value might be attached to it?
नहीं, this is not the right way. ये घर के अंदर आके गाड़ी ले जाना is not the right way. और सेंटिमेंटल वैल्यूज हो सकती है, किसी की हो सकता है, कोई अपनी गाड़ी कितने भी साल तक अंदर रख ले until unless he is driving it on the street. क्योंकि लॉ भी अगर आया है तो that is for the to control the pollution. If someone is not driving and is just keeping it in the parking, so I don't think they should take the car away.
Right. I will also come to you, sir. Do you think that this is a harassment that government is doing right now? Do you think that this is the proper way to implement a law?
No, it's not the proper way to implement the law, but yet it's a harassment because any which ways government should provide a notice to the people that we are towing a vehicle before towing their vehicles because they have so much of sentiments regarding the same.
Right.
Yes, and apart from this, if we talk about yes, it's a harassment. Why I'm saying this? Because see, there are so many of the people that someone is buying the vehicle from your own mahini, right?
Right.
So there are different things of things. Yeah, it's a harassment. That's all from my end.
And people are paying a lot of tax and also investing a lot of money to buy the vehicles.
Yes, at least government should provide the notice first of all, right? So हर किसी को अपना रहता है कि यार ठीक है मेरे को at least मेरे को पता लगे कि मेरा vehicle tow होने जा रहा है, right? That's all from my end.
So you can hear the voices of the people and they believe that this is definitely a harassment from people's side and the government can do better. Over to you.
Well, absolutely, Ishika. Thank you. I beg your pardon, Shreya. Thank you, Ishika and Shreya, for getting us those voices from the ground. And we shall leave it at that for the moment.